Stephen started through the back of the head on that bottom zone, working with vertical sections and not using any over direction, meaning that he's working on the base of the head. You can see that he's working on the outside of the finger, working with a 90-degree angle, creating a graduated shape. This is because he wanted to create something soft and fluid on the horizontal shape, working off the base, but working and building up more length and weight from the bottom to the top of the head. Now with the first section, not only is he determining the length at the top of the graduation, but he's also determining the length at the bottom of the nape, which of course is going to be the outline. Remember, your finger will always show you the length of the internal and external shape. Now as he finished his first section, he did a visual check of how the hair wants to sit on the head. This is really important within any haircut because you want to see how the hair reacts, and if everything feels balanced and symmetrical, then now is the time to move on to the next zone on the side profile. The way Stephen approached this was by taking a section from the back as a guide and then working a slightly diagonal forward section from the side profile. Vertically, Stephen wanted to create a round shape, so he followed the head shape with the cutting line and used the previous section as a guide and moved forward. This will allow him to create a really fluid shape vertically and horizontally, cutting it to the desired length where it makes a connection in towards the back. You'll notice that Stephen is working on the back corner of the shoulder, which will allow him to really create that cutting line. The next zone that Stephen's working on is going to be through that top zone, working on the apex into the frontal zone. Now generally Stephen just wants to create something quite classic here, where he wants to create a very flat and compact shape, leaving length around the front area to personalize the fringe, and also connecting it into that back length with a visual reference of the guide. Here he's going to be working a square shape vertically and also horizontally, which will allow him to have more flexibility within the personalization and styling. He's working from the back of the head, connecting it into that length through in the crown area and working that length all the way through in towards the front. Now the main technique that we'll be using through the front area is to create bangs, which will allow you to work with that center vertical profile, cutting your determined length that you want to create by analyzing where the hair sits, and then every section after that will be over directed all in towards that first section, meaning section number 2 is into 1, 3 is into 1, and 4 is into 1. Just working vertical or even pivoted sections would work really well, working through this fringe, always working from that center and slightly angling out each and every section. As long as you're over directing into the center, what will happen is the hair, as it works round in towards the recession area, will be gradually getting longer and longer, meaning the shortest point is in the center and the longer point is in the corner of the head, where it gets more extended length, meaning that you have a shorter to longer external line, but in a very beautiful and soft way because you've internally layered it at the same time. Now the sides and back have been completely personalized, we can move into working through the top of the head, which is where Stephen finished on the haircut with the wet shape. He's going to be working through vertical panels on the top of the head, working small finger depth sections from the back in towards the front area, being very precise with where he takes away the density. So once he's happy with the shape on the neckline, he can move into working some pointing through the ends in towards the front area. Again, he has complete creative freedom and control in what shape and how soft or how harsh the perimeter is now and how it becomes. He's choosing to work with the elevation of the comb with the wide teeth, and then he's deciding to work with the points of the scissor to create that very soft perimeter through the cheekbone area. So not only is it key to create the softness in this moment in time, but also the length that you're leaving it to should really frame the face on the cheekbone. Because Stephen is creating something symmetrical, he is going to be working with the thinning scissors, working through that side panel again, just to reduce some of the density internally and create more of a softer, more chewed up finish, working through the cheekbone area. You can work more of a more polished, more refined finish if you want something flatter, or you could jazz it up a little bit and work with more of a textured, more volumized finish for that more creative, more editorial look. We hope that you've enjoyed watching this short woman's versatile haircut of the mixture between the pixie and the bob. We will see you on the next one.